What's going on, everybody? This is Mitchell.
And Dennis.
And we're here to welcome you to another episode of the One Recourse Radio Podcast. And we're here to talk about our trending topic segment. Dennis, how are you feeling about that today?
You know, I'm feeling good. At first, as always, we know there's certain topics I'm not really good at covering. So, listeners, you're going to have to bear with me on this. But, you know, Mitch, as he always does, he comes through with his strengths on the first part of the segment of the show. But I am definitely excited when they get to hear the second part of the show. But what do you think, Mitch?
Well, I would simply say we have a great lineup here that we want to share with you. Number one, we're going to talk about some of the trending topics. You know, we have, it was a packed weekend. You know, we had All-Star Weekend that just passed, so we're excited to present to you that because at the end of the day, there's a lot of great things that happen from an entertainment standpoint with All-Star Weekend, so we'll keep you tuned in. Then we also have the unveiling of the Black Panther. So along with that, along with some other trending topics with an incredible guest, Miss Nadege Fortune of the Fly Girls Chronicles podcast. We'll be here to talk about all our trending topics and what we think about it from the One Recourse as well as the Fly Girls Chronicles perspective.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and we're about to get into the show.
All right. Well, welcome, everybody, to the One Recourse Radio Podcast, where we're your number one source for business entertainment. Truly excited to get this episode going on today where we're covering our trending topics. So that's correct. We got a lot of great things to talk about today that are happening that you should be aware about, both what's happening with One Recourse, what's happening in the marketplace. But before we go ahead and dive into our show and what's trending, I must introduce my co-host, our favorite light-skinned waffle-colored Negro, Mr. Dennis Buchanan, CEO of One Recourse. How are we doing today, sir?
I'm doing good, man. As always doing well. What's up, listeners? Thanks for tuning in. You know, we're sitting here rocking, talking about what's going on right now in the world, you know, what's trending and what we feel we are entitled to give our opinion on. So I hope you guys enjoy listening to our trending topics this episode.
And there you have it. You know, truly representing for the light-skinned brothers out there. You know, so we're really excited to have them on the show to help us with the commentary. So let's get right into it. Let's talk about some of these trending matters. First, let's go ahead and let's talk about what's trending here at the One Recourse office. We know that there's a lot of great things happening, you know, from the videos, from the marketplace, just everything that was going on from a marketing perspective with One Recourse. But the most important thing right now in relation to our podcast is our 2008 Flip Challenge. We want to make sure that you're truly aware that we're out here flipping. We're flipping a lot of different things. We're flipping services. We're flipping products. We're just participating with the flip. And when we say flip, what does that mean? Simply put, where we have a certain level of value, or you as a flipper, you have a certain level of value, and you go ahead and sell it for a higher level of value. So you purchase it at 5, you can get it for 20. You purchase it at 20, you can get it for 100. Whatever the case may be, you're out here flipping to increase your value. You got a job right now, and you say, you know what, I need an extra $500 to $1,000. Go ahead and flip, because you know what? We got this from Gary Vaynerchuk. So if you go on YouTube, you look up Gary Vaynerchuk, you go to Ask Gary V, you Google it, you're going to understand what's going on with flipping, because at the end of the day, when you're flipping a service, a product, or a brand, you have an opportunity to increase your value, because that's what it's really all about, increasing your value when you embrace our 2018 Flip Challenge. So, Mr. Dennis Buchanan, CEO of One Recourse, what you got to say about that, sir?
Well, what I got to say is, as I listen to this podcast, you know, we have some products that they can actually flip.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, you going to just dive right in it. Okay.
Well, yeah. You know,
so let's go about this.
Did a good job of like covering the, the basics of the Flip Challenge. So I might as well talk to them about.
You going to go in? Okay.
Yeah, what they can flip, we can revisit it. We can come back and
let me set the proper groundwork for you. Let me set you with the alley so you can oop it.
Go ahead.
All right, so here's the deal. Because if you heard our last trending topics, every trending topic segment, you're gonna hear about what Vaughn Recourse is engaged in as we're out here flipping. And you can find what you want to flip. So right now we're embracing the movement of the Flip Challenge, and we want you to jump on and embrace the movement with us. And that's when it comes to our merch. So, Mr. Dennis, we can talk about the One Recourse merch and how they can get locked into the movement when it comes to this Flip Challenge and what we're doing with the podcast, sir.
Dennis, let me ask you a question.
What's up?
I got all these ties in my closet. Now that my schedule changed a little bit, I'm a little more freer with the attire. I don't know what to do with these ties. What you got any American? Where do you put your ties at?
Oh man, listen, I just found out about this dope site. It's called the Necktie Exchange, and you literally can sell, buy, or trade all those ties you got laying around in your closet, man.
So you telling me I can make money off of it?
You can make macho money because whenever you buy a tie, most of the time you can't give it back. So with this site, you really have the opportunity to make some money, and you can sell them for however much you want.
Man, I need that website right now.
Well, you definitely got to check it out. It's www.theneckTieExchange.com. And also, it's free to sign up. So what they can do is they can visit onerecourse/podcast/shop. And what we're going to do, what we have done is we got a couple of products in there. We got a t-shirt and we have two snap caps or snap hats, not fitteds, but two hats that you can actually buy. You can turn around and flip it. And we're going to be adding more merchandise on there that you can kind of just get it. I mean, we might add some pens, we might add some cup holders, some coffee mugs, things like that nature. And we'll just put #flip on it, or entrepreneur or business. You buy it, turn around, you can sell it to somebody else. If you know entrepreneur, it'd be a great gift. Or you can sell it to somebody, they can give it as a gift. So there's going to be a lot of products. If you're not sure where to get products to start flipping, you can visit our shop on the website, and there'll be some products there that you can purchase and start flipping for yourself.
There you go. So if you want to go ahead and a couple of things, because we're all about teaching you how to flip here when it comes to our Flip Challenge. You want to purchase some One Recourse merch and join the movement. One thing that it'll do for you is let people know that you're out here flipping. So if it says #flip on the shirt, or if you're wearing the shirt and you post it on Instagram, it's a #One Recourse Flip Challenge. Mm-hmm. Whichever way you want to go about it is most cost effective to you. You'll be able to, people are going to ask you, hey, what's this all about? And then you can just go ahead and utilize that promo to send them to your link. If you have an eBay account, if you have a Shopify account, if you have a ClickFunnels account, any of those three types of accounts where you're flipping stuff, if you're on Etsy.com and you're flipping, you can utilize our movement to help you to promo your flippability.
Absolutely.
Also, I'm going to say this out there, like I said, if you get it for 20, sell it for 50. If you want to put some One Recourse merch, because we out here and it's a valuable name. So if you cop it for whatever the price is and you want to flip or an extra 40% on it, hey, feel free. Macy does it. Lord and Taylor does it. Mm-hmm. Bloomingdale does it. Go ahead, feel free. So at the end of the day, it's really just about helping you as a listener to increase your level of value when it comes to the dollar. If you cop something, you want to flip it to help bring another dollar to feed your family, this is what we're promoting. This is what we're about. And this is what we're talking about. So once again, www.onerecourse.com/podcast/shop. And you can go ahead, embrace the movement, embrace what we got going on. You'll see us with it. One Recourse, myself, Dennis, we'll have it on there as we're out here flipping. So when you see us on Instagram, when you see us on YouTube, we'll be out here flipping with the proper attire to let you know that we out here with you flipping and embracing the 2018 Flip Challenge, sir. So appreciate you for sharing that. But I know we got some more to talk about before we move on to the next topic. And then that's, we want to give you some, because like I said, let me backtrack here. Flipping. Let me talk about flipping for a moment, right? And Dennis, go ahead and feel free to come in and talk to me or share your 2 cents when you feel it's when you feel it's appropriate. But what I found when it comes to the flip,
yep.
From people that I'm learning from, because we're new to this just like you are. We're just out here utilizing our management and marketing perspectives to increase our value when it comes to the Flip Challenge. I'm learning that 3 to 5 flippable products or services is what one needs to really have success when it comes to flipping. So we just gave you one. We gave you some One Week Curse merch.
Well,
with that, we want something else? I was going to say we were going to talk about the second one.
Yeah, well, go ahead. I'll just go ahead.
And that's our necktie exchange.
Absolutely. That's my favorite one, personally.
I know it's your favorite, sir. I know it's your favorite. I know. Well, tell them why it's your favorite.
Well, the reason why it's my favorite is because it's super cost effective and it's something that is always needed. It's like water, right? You need water to survive. Well, you need ties to survive too, because whether you're going to a job, if you get an interview, or you got to go somewhere formal, you need a tie no matter how you want to do it. At some point in your life, you will wear a tie. So I think that's a very valuable asset and something that's easy to flip.
And as you say, it's a commodity. It's a thing everybody needs. So if everybody needs it, why not make money on it, right?
Absolutely.
So we know that at One Recourse, which is another form of a way to flip, if you embrace the Flip Challenge, we're providing you with resources. So if you got ties in your closet you want to get off your hands, if you want to maybe become, this is another flip, I'm giving you a hat, a One Recourse flip major key. You may want to become what's called an affiliate marketer and embrace maybe other people that sell ties, tie lines, tie brands, and you can come on the One Recourse Necktie Exchange, which is www.onerecourse.com/fashion, and you can flip your ties that you have access to, whether in-house or whoever you're doing business with, and get paid on that.
Yep.
So my thing is, we got to make sure we establish the proper level of value for why one would want to join the store.
Dennis, let me ask you a question.
What's up?
I got all these ties in my closet. Now that my schedule changed a little bit, I'm a little more freer with the attire. I don't know what to do with these ties. What you got any American? Where do you put your ties at?
Oh man, listen, I just found out about this dope site. It's called the Necktie Exchange, and you literally can sell, buy, or trade all those ties you got laying around in your closet, man.
So you telling me I can make money off of it?
You can make macho money. Because whenever you buy a tie, most of the time you can't give it back. So with this site, you really have the opportunity to make some money. And you can sell them for however much you want.
Man, I need that website right now.
Well, you definitely got to check it out. It's www.theneckTieExchange.com. And also, it's free to sign up. Now, the reason why they want to join is because it's free to set up an account. And it gives you a platform or a marketplace to reach out to so many different people. And because people just really love ties. I mean, besides people who hate ties, for every person who hates a tie, there's one person who loves a tie who has not enough ties. And it's an easy entry just to learning how to start a semi-business. You know what I'm saying? You can literally run a business from flipping ties with this type of commodity. So we think it's a very soft entry level. And also, as you're listening to the podcast and as you have all our information, we're here to help you flip. We'll provide you with some useful links. We'll give you some tips on the best way to present your products, where you can get products if you don't have them. Again, one way is to kind of reach out to friends and family members and say, hey, you got any old ties? I'd love to take those off your hands. You can sell them on the marketplace. There are websites that you could go where you could get ties almost at wholesale, and you can kind of turn around and flip them on there. So there's so many different things you could do, and it's all free. And you got a team of people here at the One Recourse who are going to help you to make that extra $1.
100%. And we already got, a number of people that are, joining the Next Time Shades. We get about 5 new stores opened up every week on the Next Time Shades. So we encourage you to be a part of it. Join the Necktie Shades and utilize that as one of your 5 different platforms where you can flip and increase the value of what you're putting out as far as products or services. Where you put out, let's say, $100 worth of value, and you get back $500 to $1,000 worth of value. And that's what we would encourage you to do. So that's what's going on. That's our update here with the Flip Challenge. One of the first things we want to make sure we covered on the trending topic segment. So Dennis, let's go ahead and talk about the next topic.
My most favorite topic in the world. Go ahead, bitch. Let's talk about it.
We're going to get into sports. Which we all know, we got a campaign going on right now. Hashtag get him out the seat. The campaign's going on now. So if you're listening here and you like sports and you want to get into the show, we want to welcome you to the show because we know Dennis hates sports, hates music, and
I wouldn't say hate. I would say doesn't have the utmost appeal for those things.
Okay, so that was a politically correct way of saying hate. So we want to make sure that's out there. Hashtag get him out the seat. Let us know what's going on. If you knowledgeable in sports, you like sports, you want to talk about sports, we can get you going. However, in the time that we're here, Dennis, we got you here. We know marketing is your thing.
Yep, absolutely.
We'll never take that away from you. I had to give you a moment of silence because we'll never take that away from you. Anywho, the thing about it is, we know that there was a major moment that happened this weekend, both from an entertainment perspective and then from a marketing perspective. Mm-hmm. And that was All-Star Weekend. Now, I know the first question I got to ask. Did you actually partake in All-Star Weekend?
No. I unfortunately did miss the All-Star Weekend, but I did get a lot of or see a lot of LeBron versus my waffle-colored counterpart from the Golden State. So, I mean, I could totally be wrong because when I seen it on the news, it appears that I guess LeBron's the East Coast and the other guy, what's his name?
Steph Curry.
Steph Curry. There we go. Steph Curry is the West Coast.
I gotta stop you right there. If you're gonna mention your waffle colored colleagues, you gotta know the names. You gotta know names.
I know the name now. Steph Curry, like Curry Chicken.
But let me correct you. No. I'm gonna say no.
They're not on opposite East West.
It wasn't an East Coast West Coast thing. Let's cover some ground here, so we can
So how do they segment the All-Star Weekend?
All right, so let me kind of give you the background.
Background. Break it down.
And then I'm gonna ask for your marketing perspective here.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'm gonna give you the hashtag keep them in the seat right here. This is a moment. So the listeners here, when they're listening in, they were like, you know what? He does know what he's talking about when it comes to sport. Let's keep him in the seat. So, All right, background. Typically, All-Star Weekend is about East versus West. The game. Let's go with the game.
Is that what I said?
The game is typically about
typically. This is a non-typical situation.
Non-typical situation, right?
All right.
Typically, it is East Coast versus West Coast. Best players in the East versus best players in the West. First question you got to ask yourself: how do you find the best players? It's about a voting system. The fans vote for the best players to participate. The voting system. You get voted in typically by your production, how you do what you do. You get voted in, right? So you get voted in, East Coast versus West Coast, right?
Yeah.
At that point, typically the best teams in the East, the best players in the East play the best players in the West.
Okay.
And typically they vote on the best forwards, centers, small forwards, shooting guards, and guards. That's how it's worked out. Okay?
Right.
So then you got the best 5 positions that play the best 5 on the East and the West. What we found to have happened is that when that does happen, we've gotten a bad product over the last 5 years because of a couple of reasons. One, players playing for, when they play for, in the season, typically they're either in or playing for a major contract. And a lot of times that contract means that you are an asset of the organization that you play for. So if I'm LeBron James, I play for the Cleveland Cavaliers, that contract says this is my asset. I'm going to pay you X amount of dollars, say $20 million a year, which in the past was a max contract, right? Mm-hmm. Pay you $20 million a year. You're going to provide me with good production on the basketball court for what I'm looking for X amount of period of time, right? It's hard to do that if you get injured in an All-Star game.
Oh, okay.
So what happens is you got players that come to the All-Star game and play no defense and just hoist up a bunch of threes.
Yep.
Which means that the All-Star product looks like trash. So what they did was this year they said we got to change this because this is disgusting.
Everybody just turn around looking at each other like, you get the ball. No, I ain't messing up my contract.
Right.
My ankle. You get the ball, brother.
But that's what was going on.
I believe it.
And it got so bad. So if you look at the All-Star games for the last 5 years, you'll see moment by moment, year after year, that the style of play gets worse and worse. To the point where last year it looked like a layup line. They were just throwing the ball. It was by far the worst basketball I've ever seen in my life. By professional. So what they did was they said, you know what, we got to switch this up. What we got to do is that we got to go ahead and we got to make these guys play hard. So what they did was when they voted, they took the 2 top votes, which was Steph Curry and LeBron James, and they made them team captains.
Okay.
And I give a shout out to Stephen A. Smith because I know when that happened, when Stephen A. Smith mentioned this, and he's one of the co-hosts of the First Take on ESPN. But he had said this. He said, "Look, you should have 2 teams. Make them select the teams, and then make them donate a certain amount of money to their favorite charity, so they got something to play for." So what they did was they made Steph Curry and LeBron James co-captains, and they picked who they wanted to play with. And they had their teams. So it was a pool of all-stars they picked. And they got their teams. We'll say it was about 15 players. So at that point, whoever won the all-star game donated $500,000 to the team captain's favorite charity.
Wow, they really did it big this time.
And whoever lost donated $150,000 to their favorite charity. So both teams donated, but the winner got the larger amount.
Donated.
So $750,000 was out there to be given to the team that won. So now you got something to play for, which was lacking in the past. And that's what we got this year. And from what I saw, because I actually watched the game, I know you did.
That's your Valentine's thing, you know what I mean? So
we all know I'm really big about All-Star Weekend. It's my Valentine's Day weekend.
There you go.
So if you have a lady, she might have her thing, but my Valentine's Day weekend is going making sure I see All-Star Weekend. But slam dunk contest also. I do this. This is what I do. So long story short, I saw what was happening. I see from the change, tremendous change. They played hard. This is the hardest I've seen them play in the last 7 years.
This is Crystal Stone of the Stone Truth Podcast. When I'm not talking Dallas Cowboys football, I'm tuned in to the One Recourse Podcast, your number one source for business entertainment.
Oh, to change that. Now, LeBron James and Stephen Curry,
Right.
they got the earnings went to their charity, correct?
So it's the team captain
who chose? The team captain selected the charity, and everybody else just played for that charity or whatever the case may be. Is that how it worked?
Right. So whoever the team captain selected, say, I want to select Kids Are Starving in the Streets LLC Inc. We're gonna donate that. Yeah. Whatever they chose is where the money went.
Okay.
That is correct. That's correct.
Okay, because I didn't know, let's just say you and I on the same team, right? And we both got different charity, and then we win, it goes to your charity, not mine. So that's why I wasn't sure if it went to the captain's charity, not the team as a whole.
Well, I don't know how it was figured out. I mean, it was too, because the All-Star Weekend was in Los Angeles, and it was the charity. Both were two organizations in Los Angeles or California or whatever the case may be. So I don't know how they were selected, but I do know they were chosen and they were California-based organizations.
So they keep it in the family. Keeping that money in the family. I bet you it wasn't St. Jude. St. Jude didn't need the money, but I bet you.
Nah, it definitely wasn't St. Jude.
It wasn't St. Jude? Oh, okay. Listen. I told you, I always got something to say about turning the topic. It ain't got nothing to do with sports, but I got an opinion about some stuff. So
there you go. That's cool, though. So if you got an opinion, this is my question to you, right? Because I know you did. I know there was a point in time when you were on. You were doing a lot of heavy Instagram promo. And I know there was a point in time when you did you were giving 52 tips of marketing strategies. And one of them had to do with partnering up with a nonprofit organization when it comes to running your business and allowing those proceeds to help to donate to the charity, but yet help you to promote your business. There's a certain tactic behind that. What can you share some light for the listeners that are that are listening in about that and how they might be able to use that for their business or their brand?
Well, yeah. So it's a good philanthropy, but there's another word I wanted to use. But the way it works is, when you have a cause, a lot more people are willing to support or get behind your business when you stand for something and you have a cause for something. A lot of millennials are really big on causes. So when a company decides to align themselves with, let's just say, the local church or it's a local nonprofit organization, and you choose to give some of the funds from your proceeds, you're giving back to your community. You're allowing people who may not normally give to the community to support the community through doing something or buying something that they want and have value in. So it's a win-win, and it's one of the more positive ways to kind of market to masses. So I do suggest that anybody listening, any business owner, kind of next time you're out and about or you're driving around, ask your friends, hey, any nonprofits in your area, and if you see something that is a good fit for your business, seriously reach out to them. And because nonprofits, they don't make money the traditional way, and a lot of their money and funding comes through companies that some quote unquote sponsor them, and that money is needed, and your company can not only reach more people in a very cost-effective way, but you're also helping in a very cost-effective way, because that little bit of money goes a long way for these nonprofits.
There we go, man. I appreciate you for sharing that, because I think it's important, especially when you have, like you said, I think it's real big for nonprofits to entertain multiple ways to bring in revenue, and a lot of times partnering up with business or brands as opposed to looking for the, hey, donate to my organization, because we may have that person. You may have a nonprofit organization. You're listening to the show today, and you're thinking like, I need to bring in money. But at the end of the day, asking for money is not a position of value. You can ask for money when you create value. So by partnering up with a brand or a business that supports what you do, and from whatever you do with the brand generates the value, that's another way of bringing in funds than just asking for the dollar. And I think that was important. I appreciate you for sharing that, so that's a good deal.
No problem.
Awesome, man. So, all right. So, all in all, that's what was going on with All-Star Weekend. I know, like I said, you gave us the marketing tip we were looking for. So, hashtag, we're going to keep you in the seat.
Appreciate that.
But do you have anything before we move to the next topic else that you want to talk about regarding All-Star Weekend?
Who won?
Team LeBron.
Talk about that.
Team LeBron won.
Team LeBron won? Did they beat him bad? Did they beat him bad?
3 points. It was a 3-point game.
Oh, all right. So that's it. So, it was a well-fought battle for the charity that won, that $500,000 is going to change a lot of lives. And I know LeBron has always and does give back to the community with building schools. So with that being said, kudos to the winning team. And all in all, it was a very positive thing. It was a win-win for you because you got to see an entertaining game. And it was a win-win because it gave people it gave the players something to get behind and make everybody, happy at the end of the day.
There you go. So I would just say in closing, shout out to Team LeBron for winning. Shout out to Team Steph Curry for playing a real hard fought-out game. Shout out to the 3-point contest. That was a great one. So All-Star Saturday night, the skills challenge, that was great. Devin Booker, new 3-point challenge winner. Donovan Mitchell, slam dunk champion. And who won? Oh, what's his name? Dunleavy from the New Jersey Nets won the skills challenge. So shout out to all you guys for winning, putting out a good show for that night. Shout out to the celebrity game. Quavo from the Migos won the MVP, scored 19 points in the celebrity All-Star game. Shout out to the rookie game as well. It was a great game as well too for all of the rising stars. So I think it was just an all-out good weekend. Another one in the books, and we will see it again. Hopefully, Dennis next year will be plugged in to he'll actually watch it next year. If not, hashtag get him out the seat. We'll have a new host for the sports segment, and we'll be locked in where he can just give us his marketing tip, and we'll be all situated from that point on. So thank you for tuning in regarding our trending topics. When we come back from commercial break, we have a guest here that we're really excited about because it's another podcaster that we want to introduce to you, to our listeners. You can hear more about what they're doing with their podcast, and you can hear some of our more trending topic segments. So when we come back from commercial break, we'll see you back with our new guest. See you soon.
Hello, my name is Keith Saunders. I am the founder and president of Sonia Inc. Sonia stands for Saunders Omnipresent Network, Inspiring America's Youth Incorporated. We are a 501c3 non-for-profit organization located out of Brennan High School in West Babylon, New York, address 550 Mount Avenue. You can enter in the rear by the loading dock. We provide the services of providing alternatives to gangs, violence, school dropouts, and we also provide internships. Our mainstay is our Open Gym program, which operates out of Brennan High School, and also our lecture series. You're welcome to come out any Wednesday night, hear a great lecture, and if you have children in grades 6 through 12, bring them to be involved with our basketball program, as well as our college tours, our board games, and other fun activities. We are by far the best kept secret of Long Island, and we love for you to come out and see what we do. We're also looking for volunteers. Thank you, and have a great and wonderful time.
All right, so we're back from break, everybody. We want to welcome you back to the show. If you've just been tuning in, we've been covering, our flip challenge. You've heard a little bit about the flip challenge. We talked about what was happening with All-Star Weekend. So we're going to change gears a little bit. We just got a guest to come onto the show. I got a lot of respect for her and everything that she's doing. Another fellow podcaster. We have another fellow podcaster here, and she's doing some real big things. Her and her other three amigos. So we want to welcome to the show Mr. Dave Fortune from the Fly Girl Chronicles. How are we doing today?
Hey, how you doing? Thank you for having me.
Well, we're honored to have you. Had an opportunity to hear your show. You got some real incredible topics that you and your partners are covering. So what we would like to do is get the ball rolling before we get into our trending topic segment. Include you in it. We want to hear a little bit about what's going on with your podcast. Tell the listeners a little bit about your podcast, what it's all about, and how the podcast got started.
Okay, so it's Fly Girl Chronicles. Shout out to my girl Crystal V. She actually is the one that started it. Sorry she couldn't be here with us tonight. I think it was just a little short notice. But there's a meetup group on .com. It's called Fly Girl Chronicles, and basically it's millennial women just doing things around New York City and just having a good time. And from that meetup, I think it just spawned, and just when women get together, there's stories, there's perspectives, there's a little bit of everything. And it was like, well, maybe we need to look and capture on tape, because clearly these aren't conversations that's just being had amongst us, but these are happening at the beauty salons, nail shops, where ladies get eyelashes or eyebrows done. So these conversations are happening all the time, but sometimes you either have a hard time connecting with some people. So it's just a matter of giving a different perspective to millennial women in this day and age. So basically it's Crystal V, my girlfriend Alicia, Jessica Williams, and myself, the four of us, and we normally have different guests for different perspectives. We cover mostly like pop culture, millennial perspectives on politics and current events, tips, advice, health and beauty, health and fitness. Crystal and we both through dramatic weight loss changes. I think it's just something that can be shared amongst, other women in our age range who either just don't know how to get the ball started or just don't know how to begin. So that's pretty much how that started. I jumped on, honestly, in July of 2017, and it was when Jay-Z's 444 album dropped. I had a perspective, and it was, pretty much my first time actually being on the air of any sort. But I like to talk. I have a perspective.
Awesome.
I was willing to give it. And that's kind of been the start of it. Ever since then, I've just been, meeting other fellow podcasters like yourself and some other people who are just, doing some things in today's day and age. And I appreciate it. There's different perspectives. Everybody's got their own lane. And I think it's just a beautiful thing to kind of learn off of each other and just create this, beautiful community or this network, of just people just supporting each other and just watching it grow. My digital media, like I said, I just started this whole digital media thing. I just went to an event in Brick about a week ago and just realized that there's all these tools just available to us if we just go out and look for it. So I just found out there's these podcasting classes, photography classes, and anything. Shout out to Brick in Brooklyn, but they definitely offered them or at a donation. I think is, Google it, BRIC at bricklyn.com. Definitely check it out, but it's definitely been there where I've been trying to go ahead and hone our skills and see, what can pop. And so far it's so good. Podcasting is amazing. I'm honestly, by day, I'm a project manager.
Okay.
And basically, I do a lot of space planning and totally different realm from what podcasting is. Basically, I'm changing the landscape of New York City right now. I worked for a medical center, and basically, we're just changing the way healthcare is done around the city. So, with the closing of a lot of these hospitals, there's just been a lot of things popping up. So, I'm very much in touch with a lot of things, a lot of initiatives in the city. And it's just, just trying to put that out there and just, seeing how it can fly any which way.
That's what's up.
Thank you.
I like that. I think that's a good way to kick this off. You just go ahead and gave us the full D&D. Appreciate that. We don't got to dig deep because you gave us the whole scoop.
Well, I figured, if you're going to do an interview, you might as well just get comfortable.
Just get it all done up first. I appreciate it. That's a good deal. So I think with your career and what you got going on, I think that's amazing because like you said, by day you're a project manager. You got your ears to the street. You know what's really going on, and it gives you a lot of perspective. And as you get together with your, with your co-host, you get an opportunity to share, I guess, the different perspectives that's going on and how to relate it to what's going on with pop culture. So I think that's a real good deal. And you also touch base about, as far as what you're doing to hone in on your skills. I think, and I know Dennis could probably attest to this as well. When we first started our podcast, we were just about getting the podcast out. So I think the fact that you're 6 months, you're 6 months in and you're attending courses and classes and getting knowledge and understanding, that's you're already in the right space. I think that's great in itself. Dennis, how you feel about that?
Man, listen, I can say I wish we would have known about that when we got started.
we needed a brick. We needed a brick. We were shooting bricks when we first started.
We was laying up all kind of static on the mic.
Trial and error. I mean, you guys are doing a great job. I've been definitely checking you guys out, and it's a good look. I think breaking down business and all that, to the average Joe makes a lot of sense.
I appreciate
that.
Awesome, man, definitely. So what would you say? So you kind of laid the groundwork as far as how you got involved and where you're at today. So what would you say is the future? What do you see as the future for your podcast and what you're looking to do to build it as a brand and as a podcast altogether?
I definitely know that there's a lot of strides for us to go.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for the future, I definitely think about Angela Yee, her lip service.
Right. Yeah, I'm familiar with
I've heard of that.
Right. So, I definitely see us doing something like that, but just more deep into a little bit more in depth.
Okay.
I want to eventually do community outreach. I have, of course, sky's the limit when you think about what you want to do.
Okay.
Immediately, though, is one of those things where, get the followers up, get the listenings going, trying to just be marketable, is I think where we're at right now, and trying to understand how that whole world works, because, it's a beast in itself, so just trying to figure that part out, just trying to figure out how to be on your level or even get out there where, we're soliciting to have guests on our podcast and what have you, having the technology, understanding it, I think a lot of times that's what people need is just the basic understanding on how it works. I'm still trying to figure out GarageBand, but work in progress.
Awesome. I get it. That's all I understand. Yeah, that's what it really comes down to. I know when you start your podcast, and you got your traditional, you got your SoundCloud, you got your, all of the traditional platforms that most podcasters know about. But aside from that, you want to eventually try to differentiate yourself, and I think so. We know where you're coming from, because at the end of the day, when you think about podcasting as a whole, anybody can wake up and just say, let me get the proper tools, let me get the mic, and let me just start talking and say we got a podcast, but if your content, if your content's not right, if your following is not right, if you're not appeasing your subscriber base, like you said, it's hard to differentiate yourself. So I think that's good that you got your focus as far as being marketable, putting yourself in the right position, so that you can appease what you like to talk about to the right people that will be receptive to what you're putting out there. So I think that's awesome. That's real good. So now we got that. Oh, last thing we got to make sure we cover, because at the end of the day, we know what you're about. We know where you're looking to go. How can the listeners find you and get some of this good content that you and your partners are talking about?
Absolutely. You can follow us on Instagram. It's Fly Girl Chronicles, FLYY. GIRL Chronicles, CHRONICKCLES, sorry. Fly Girl Chronicles, with 2 Y's. That's the same name on Instagram and SoundCloud and iTunes.
Smart move. Good marketing and branding right there, having it consistent all the way through.
There you go. There you go. Keep that consistency. All right, good deal. So
Websites. Everybody's always talking about a website. Small business owners, freelancers, you name it, everybody's talking about a website. For some reason, it's needed. The truth is, people check out your website before they even decide to give you a call. How's your website? Does it get the traffic you need? Do you even have a website? Are you missing out on customers? Are you missing out on sales? Well, with One Recourse Website Design, not only do we allow you to create amazing websites yourself with our do-it-yourself platform, you also can hire us to create customly made websites for you. That's not the best part. The best part about all of this and our services is that all websites are $1,000 or less. Now, if you see yourself needing a website now or in the future, make sure you check out www.onerecoursedesign.com, and we will gladly help you get your website together.
All right, so let's do this. One of the things you talked about, because we want to get right into we want to include you in our discussion here with our trending topics. And one of the things that you talked about all different things that I've said, a lot of trending matters. Some from what you said, pop culture. You said you also get a little political. So I'd like to talk get a little political. I know this is a thin line you may not want to cross. So we're gonna see how this goes. So basically, I know that one of our trending matters that we wanted to make sure we covered was the State of the Union address for a couple of reasons. One, we're in February right now, so at the end of the day, we know that at the end of January, our president, our new president, gave his first State of the Union address.
Our president, you claiming him?
Well, I mean, hey, listen, if you live in the country, that's why we get. That's why I tell you why. We already there. But at the end of the day, we here. We're citizens.
You're right.
You paying your taxes. You abide by the rules. You're not out here rogue. So you gotta say what you gotta say. But anywho, so we know he gave his first State of the Union address. So that's the first common ground. We can agree on that, right?
Yes.
The guy gave his so he gave it.
Yeah, there was a State of the Union address.
There was a State of the Union address. All right, so we're good with that. That's the common ground. So that's the first thing. And then also in our last episode, we also gave the State of the Union address for One Recourse as a whole of the podcast. So we felt it was necessary to talk about what was going on with the State of the Union address. So we want to get your perspective. What did you think? What was your impression about the State of the Union address, and anything else you want to share to get the ball rolling with that?
It was short-sighted.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so first of all, I start off by this. I have no patience in watching Donald Trump speak. And I think the more I watch him, the more animated I get, or the more interested I get about his animations as opposed to whatever he's saying. Mm-hmm. And then when you listen to what he says, it's usually baby speak and not clear, concise thought processes. Right. And for someone who's leading our country or the president of the free world is just a bit embarrassing, to be completely honest with you. Mm-hmm. But I will say, I think it was definitely sugar-coated and addressed to his supporters, if anything.
Okay.
He does a lot of self-aggrandizing in regards to him thinking that he's helping the economy in every such way. And as so for me, the State of the Union address was short-sighted, mm-hmm. simply because I think he focused more on things that were irrelevant to whatever I'm saying, like the state, like with the actual state of our union, it was never addressed, if that makes any sense. Right. I think a lot of the issues surrounding him is definitely taking away from his presidency in regards to how he is even performing as a president. He's more concerned with social issues as opposed to our political ones.
Right.
So I mean that's my start with what I feel with the president's State of the Union. But what were your thoughts?
Dennis, you wanna go ahead? Shit.
Yeah, my thoughts. I definitely agree with the way his delivery was done. It was very, very choppy. So if somebody put some words in front of me and I just had to read like a sentence at a time, I think it could be. I think I'd be able to be good at it. As far as the bullet points or what he was talking about, it was a lot of fluff. It was a lot of like nonsense. I wasn't really compelled by it. I just felt like he was just reading off of like a PowerPoint presentation and reading it slow enough so people think like it's impactful. So like it didn't flow. It was like, so my name is, and I'm going to talk about, pause, and you guys are going to listen to me, pause, and as I continue the speech, thank you very much. So I just kind of felt it was something that was very chopped choppy. You know, he didn't really, in my opinion, follow through with anything he said to be elected. And only to hear him talk about the State of the Union, it was just kind of like, maybe we must have missed the first part of what you said that hasn't happened yet. And now you're talking about all this other stuff, in my opinion.
I mean, I think he just lied a lot too in regards to job creations and watching, you know, the week before, you know,
right.
that they lose, I think, 74% of their workforce. He talked about wages going up, and that didn't happen. It's just like, it's pomp and circumstance. What I will say to Dennis's point was the fact that he had an attention span for 80 minutes, you know, the fact that I mean, you know, that was a feat in itself. We all know this man can't do it, you know, and the fact that he was able to, I think, you know, showed that he's capable of something, you know.
Yeah.
There you go. Nah, I agree. So I think for me, when I checked it out, I'm in agreement with both of you. I feel that there was a lot of fluff, and I think he brought a lot of props. You know what I mean? When he brought that, you know, the disabled young lady there, he had the African American, he had the welder there. So I feel that he had a lot of props to convey the message, which showed me that he had a great a team of writers who helped him prepare the speech. And like you said, he had the attention span to actually pull it off, to get the speech off. However, like you said, I do agree. I do feel that in his delivery, he covered what was needed to be covered to not look like an idiot, to look like he had some level of competence, and to get up out of there to appease his supporters. Other than that, I feel like a lot of the different issues that as a country we've been facing that have been more trending, have been in the eyes of the public, he tried to stay away from it and utilize what was good, or as far as what he could talk about, cover that to wash over what was bad. So, you know, as a speech, I was like, you know what, I'm not saying, if say somebody else gave the speech, I might have been a little bit more like, oh, that's what's up. We know who gave the speech, so we're not all the way there. But as the execution of the speech to get the job done, I think from a business perspective, I think he got the job done. However, we know that there's a lot of holes because of this about the actual work that he's doing. We know he's not really doing what he's talking about, and the things that need to get done aren't really getting done for what we need as a country. So that's my perspective on it. You know what I mean? So I think that I watched it all the way through. You know, I saw the execution, but like you said, I saw the fluff that came with it as well too.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. So if we know that there's fluff, what do you personally feel that were some of the things that were missing from the speech that I guess should have been addressed?
Facts.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I got for you. Facts.
He was giving you some facts though. You talked. They weren't the facts we were looking for. Talked about unemployment, right? He talked about.
Was it true?
I would say that we don't know. We gotta figure that
out. So that's why we said what was missing from his speech.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
Factual facts.
There you go.
Washington Post did a fact check on most of the points that Donald Trump made during his speech and basically corrected him. And honestly, I think there was 18 times where he said something and they were very untrue, and they went ahead and fact checked him on it, you know?
Right.
So one of them was being that since the election, he's created 2.4 million jobs, including 200 jobs in manufacturing alone. There was 184,000 people laid off in 2017 in the 11 months that Trump has been president. And that's just the beginning. There was other things. Wage. He said that wages were actually finally rising.
Right.
In actuality, he takes in its credit for something that had nothing to do with him. The economy was going on a trending rise anyway. So whether he was president or not, wages would have seemed to have gone up. But Trump, you know, he goes ahead and takes credit for a lot of things that aren't really things that he's producing. That's like somebody, or that's like your boss saying, yo, because the weather happens to be 84 degrees in February, I made you have a good day. Wait. Like the weather, it just happened to be 84 degrees in February, But then, so he goes ahead and he takes credit for things that aren't really things you take credit for when, like it was already trending that way anyway. So with that being said, it's like, well, what truth is he really giving you? The truth to the people, and the people who go ahead and believe this truth are actually just as ignorant or just not as well informed as the rest of them. Not saying that he's completely wrong, because clearly there's something people are attracted to, right? I mean, there's just no way that the whole Republican Party can just be idiots. Like, I refuse to believe that they're just that dumb. And of course, they're probably going for self-interest. Whether it's the tax wages that have been cut and, it affects them indirectly or directly where they see their wages go up, but he's speaking to a very small population compared to, like, it's like, what is it? Collateral damage, but there's nothing collateral about it, except for us, just the economy demise.
Can you afford a $1,600 a month payment? Do you make at least $3,500 a month gross household income? Do you have around a 600 or higher credit score? If not, we offer free credit repair. All homes listed by all companies, including foreclosures and our motivated sellers list. Click here to learn more.
Personal opinion, I'm just saying.
Hey, listen, that's what it's about.
And totally, no, I'm just kidding.
Now, did you and your partners, your co-hosts, did you talk about this on one of your episodes, or?
No, this hasn't been a conversation, and not for anything. I think it just didn't come up because we didn't give it that much thought. But yeah, I mean, that's just how I feel about it.
I got you. Well, I'm glad you gave it some thought here. I think you gave it a moment. We just wanted to give it a moment. We didn't want to stay too long on it. We just wanted to give it a moment.
I respect it.
Cool. So we got that addressed. So we got the political stuff out the way. Let's all right. So we're gonna put that to the side. Let's switch gears and let's get a little bit more entertaining. There we go. We know we had a good. We know that this past weekend was the launch.
Yeah.
I think it was. If I was to say, for the people of color, we got a win on the board.
Yes, we got a W.
We did get a W. We got a W. And that's because the Black Panther came out. Yeah, I know all three of us, had an opportunity to check that movie out.
Great.
So what's the thoughts? What are we talking about? I want to hear everybody's thoughts about it.
Amazing.
I did actually enjoy the movie from both for being a Marvel fan and a fan of being able to see African American in the superhero light.
I agree. Why do you feel this was such a monumental weekend for us?
First of all, I wanted to shout out to everybody, any producer, any event coordinator, anybody who went ahead and did a production around the showing of his movie. Mm-hmm. I think it was one of the greatest displays of Black unity, of Black love, about, Black History Month. It was just one of the best displays I got to see in a very long time, if not ever, other than maybe African, the Caribbean Day Parade or whatever.
Is that because you plug it in
Well,
you sound kind of a little biased.
I will say I won't get anything, to be honest with you, but I did get a chance to go to 2 viewings of Black Panther, both Thursday and Friday, and both of them were productions where people actually had either African drummers, the national, the African national, the Black, the Black National Anthem, or some production around the showing of a movie, and it was one of the greatest displays of just unity I had ever seen. I went to Gray's Entertainment, went ahead and rented out the Harlem Theater, the Magic Johnson movie theater in Harlem. And they went ahead and did a red carpet, and they had drummers out there. They had a throne, They have photographers out there, and it was just one of the biggest displays of just like pride I've ever seen in a long time. And so I will say, because I know that was been getting a lot of flack or a lot of slack on social media. Some people were here for it and other people weren't. I felt like most were. And if you participated, if you chose to go ahead and go into in a dashiki or any type of African garb, it was all received in love. I think it was the first time I ever walked into a movie theater and people actually said what up to each other, just to say hi. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, what's up? Complimenting each other's headdresses or whatever the case. So it was great. That whole experience was great. So then watching the movie and having the movie be as good as it was made it even better, you know? Because the entire experience, I think, was just well received.
I definitely know why yours was amazing, because my experience with the show wasn't like that. It was not like that at all.
You were singing the anthem. We did a swag swerve. You know, like
y'all did the chest, across the chest bump.
Y'all had a whole different experience. That had a different experience.
Production. It was a real production.
You're not lying, man. I'd have felt like I could just imagine what Coming to America was like when they first did. I wasn't even like that. So,
they did that. That's the funny thing. They even did that. They had the beat drummers and the flower petals and everything, so everybody felt like kings and queens. It was crazy. Shout out to the folks in Brooklyn and in Harlem because they did it big. I want to say this movie, you know, this movie will just inspire generations to come. I imagine all the 10 and 11-year-olds watching this movie and just seeing what's possible, you know? Right. And, you know, imagination is reality, but within the thought, you know? And a lot of times when that, you know, with that being said, is if you see something, you can all of a sudden imagine yourself doing it. I can see, you know, the rates of young girls going into STEM programs skyrocketing in the next, you know, 4 to 6 years, you know, just right. I can't imagine anything else but, you know, with the trend being, you know, college being the way for, you know, the baseline in order to, you know, get a job and get started. I just think technology and science is just going to be a very big part of that. I think it was inspiring seeing an action scene with 2 black women in the front seat, you know, and badasses. Because I've never seen that. Like, I can't think of a moment when I've ever seen that. And that's kind of been the draw moment for me. Only because I believe in strong women. And seeing that was even just incredible. I don't want to go ahead and give too many spoilers, so I'm trying to just really dance around many things. But
hey, listen, if they ain't seen it by now, then we going to spoil it for them. Hey, listen, they about to get a treat from this show, because I'll tell it all. But Mitch, what you think? Mitch, what you think?
Well, first things first, I'm going to say this. I got a question too, because I was trying to figure this out while I was watching the movie. I'm going to get to that in a moment. The first thing I'm going to say, shout out to the entire cast, because I ain't never seen so many people of color employed from one movie.
Shout out to them. I hear that.
Yeah, I mean, because you had the guy from Get Out was on there, right?
I thought it was a funny, interesting spin when I seen it. I kind of gave at that part.
Right. I think I even seen Wale in a scene in a backdrop, right?
Yes,
you peeped it? Yes. I seen him in the backdrop. So a lot of people getting checks from this production. I'm also shouting out the director, because he's around our age, and to pull that off, man.
What was it, $200 million budget they gave him, I think.
That's genius. And he ain't messed that up. That's genius. So I appreciate what he did. I appreciate the cast, the director. I never seen a movie with so many beautiful black people. It was just beautiful black people all together. You know, Lupita, I have a newfound respect for her and what she's done as an actor. Like, it was just off the chain. Like, I just feel what it did for how the director pulled it off, the opportunities they created, and the amount of beautiful black people in one movie. I was just amazed. It just blew my mind. I mean, because, you know, there were moments where as a black person, you know, you could celebrate. So I know, like, when Girls Trip came out, you know, they got excited about that because it was an all-black female cast and it did good numbers. When The Best Holiday came out, you got excited about that because it was a large, you know, all-black cast and it did good numbers. But I think this one just took it and just said, you know, we're going to just pick all of these movies. We're going to put them to the side and we just gonna get it right, and we gonna show them how we really do this. Because not only create opportunities for who I just mentioned, but then you had a lot of people in the backdrop, like, you know, I think TDE, which is that record label that Kendrick Lamar's from. I think they were in charge of the whole entire soundtrack, right? So they had the whole soundtrack. I've never heard where a whole record label gets a whole soundtrack. That's a new one for me. So from that perspective, you know, just the opportunity to create it for a lot of people, I just think that it's gonna go. This is a moment in history for us. I'm happy that we got the W. You can throw the W back up. I'm happy that we got the W for this moment. It was an incredible movie, and you know, I would probably go back to see it again. How about you? Are y'all going to see it again?
Absolutely.
Well, you already saw it twice, so I mean,
I just want to bring the young ones.
Well, I'm gonna make sure when it comes out on DVD, I'm definitely gonna copy it and keep it in my arsenal of movie collections. Maybe giving away some gifts or something like that. But I mean, hey, man, if enough group of people want to go see it again, I'll see it again. And this time I'll probably watch it in like 3D or something, because this time I didn't get a chance to experience it in like 3D.
Yeah, you know? right. Yeah,
I want to feel like I'm in it now. I done enjoyed it now. I want to be like, yo, I'm fighting too with him. You know what I'm saying? I want to battle up.
Nah, it totally makes sense. But I mean, at the end of the day, like you said, I think we got to get the DVD. It's like a trophy. We won the chip for this year, and I hope they get some type of an award or something, because they definitely well deserve it. They well deserve it.
Nah, absolutely.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Well, you're live here listening in with myself, Dennis, and one of four of the Fly Girl Chronicles, Mr. Dej Fortune. We're pronouncing it correctly, right? Fortune, right?
Yes,
I know, like 14, I don't know, mess it up. Fortune, because she's out here, and she's rich beyond measure. She's out here doing it. If you know anybody that can go to 2 live productions for a movie premiere, you know she's doing some things right in the market. So we're here with her. We'll be back from commercial break in a moment, so stay tuned, and we'll be back with the rest of our trending topics.
Are you a spring breaker? Spring Break Central is here. Get ready for the greatest party in all of Florida. Lani Kai Island Resort is the top location for anyone looking to have the best spring break of their life. We have 7 bars, 4 restaurants, including Starbucks, the only one in Fort Myers Beach, Club Ohana Nightclub with live bands all night to 2 a.m., and state-of-the-art rooms that comfortably fit 6 people and have a private balcony overlooking the Gulf. Visit our website at LaniKaiIslandResort.com.
All right, so we're back from break. Welcome back to the show. And for those that are just tuning in, we have the lovely Mr. Dej Fortune of the Fly Girls Chronicle podcast with us as we're talking about our trending topics. And you know, if you just heard, we had to get away from the politics, and we talked about Black Panther. So we're gonna stay in the entertainment space because I have something I stumbled across, and I think that it was that's important to discuss. I've never heard any interview about it, documentary about it. I've never really heard too much chatter or commentary about it. And I only say this because I was on Netflix, right? And I was watching the She's Gotta Have It new series. And I know that it was produced and influenced by Spike Lee. And, you know, we hear about a lot of producers that are out here putting out work for movies and different things. But I started to watch this, and I had to ask myself, does Spike Lee get the credit that he's just due? Some may, I don't know what your perspective is, but I thought it would be a good conversation to talk about it, because at the end of the day, this is something that just came out not too long ago. I had an opportunity to watch the full season. I thought it was amazing. I had an opportunity to watch the actual original version of it, and I see the same storyline, great production, and they took it to a whole nother level. So I was highly impressed as far as what was going on there. It really opened up my thought processes to ask, what do we think about Spike Lee's legacy? What's the talk about it? And what do you feel, I guess, when it's all said and done, does he add value to the culture of entertainment, or does he take away? So being that you're our guest, Miss Fortune, and this sounds like a popular culture type of topic, why don't you talk to us about what you think, your impression of Spike Lee and what he's doing?
Man, Spike Lee is one of our living legends. I feel like we need to go ahead and saran wrap them. Right?
Rare rap. I like that.
Not many of them left. You know what I'm saying? We got to protect our legends. I know he gets kind of crazy and out of pocket every once in a while, but what he has done for the culture, I mean, there's no taking that away from him. I will say, I feel like She's Gotta Have It was everywhere. I felt like the marketing for it was everywhere. Fly Girl Chronicles, we reviewed it. We reviewed the series. It was definitely a remake of the original movie, which I hadn't seen.
Full on remake. Yeah.
Right. And what I will say is, first of all, I love She's Gotta Have It, this series. I fell in love with the cinematography and just the way he just captures Brooklyn always just makes you fall in love.
Right.
I think if you're watching a Spike Lee movie, you will want to move to Brooklyn. You will want to visit it. You will want to be in Brooklyn. And
right.
I think any director that can do that can make you want to go to a place after seeing his work is something to be said. He's a cultural icon. I mean, She's Gotta Have It, I think, was very well put together. Lola Darling definitely got her share of issues, you know.
Right, yeah. Wait. Let's take a moment. Let's take a moment to reflect on that. This is a Fly Girl Chronicle moment right here. I think this is something y'all would talk about. So hey, let's do this. Let's have a Fly Girl Chronicle moment. We not your co-hosts, but we gonna be the fake co-hosts for today. What was the conversation like when y'all discussed Lola Darling?
I mean, there's something to appreciate a woman who can rock their sexual fluidity, their sexual confidence. With a certain level of, you know, the way she's carried it. Of course, you know, dudes will call it being a thought.
Okay, all right, so you're on.
But then, you know, she put it out there. She put it out there for all three of the dudes. They all knew about each other. This was nothing that was a secret to anybody. She was just totally owning her sexuality.
Right.
I think a lot of times that gets misconstrued with, being a hoe, being this, that, and the other thing. And that's patriarchal society. We can get into it if you want, but you know, I'm on line with two men right now, and I don't want to get too crazy.
Well, we already did politics, so we might as well we'll straddle the line for a moment. If we get too crazy,
Dennis just sounded like he's like, you know, Dennis.
Hey, I'm just like, hey, talk about it. I'm curious because, you know, like I said, I watched it.
Okay, so we live in a patriarchal society. You guys can you attest to it. You know, it's a bloody murder if a woman cheats, but you know what I'm saying? Oh, it's a give it a pass if a guy cheats. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right? Okay.
A fundamental basis of how things rock, right? And that's only society that we live in. Any woman who goes ahead and decides to own her sexuality, decides, I'm not okay, you can do whatever you're doing, but I'm doing whatever I'm doing. All of a sudden she gets looked at, or she's become less than, because she's not holding that image of virtue that men like to fall into.
All right, so
go ahead.
Okay, go ahead, Darren.
So what I would say, I mean, because I hear that, and then let's just say, okay, it is a double standard, right? But the one way has to be projected in order for it to be received. So for the man to then be like, all right, you've been shaming me for out here getting all willy-nilly, oh, he cheated, he's this, he's that, blah, 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 blah. And we get the 1800 degree for like years. You could be in one relationship, it'll carry to the next relationship if you did some messed up stuff. So now that when women are doing it, are we supposed to like, why wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, we've been taught that, okay, if I do it, it's 100% wrong. Doesn't mean the guy's going to not do it anyway. But then why wouldn't we say something to a woman who's out there?
No, there's nothing wrong with saying, see, that's the thing, is there's nothing wrong with saying that there's something wrong to it. But the level of wrongness all of a sudden becomes 10 times more for a woman than it does for a man.
Because it's been put down our throat for so much longer.
No, but the fact of the matter is, men will continue to like, men will cheat. Like, men are prone to not being monogamous or whatever. Monogamy was created by men. You don't want to know why? Because of the male ego. You know what I'm saying? Like, men couldn't deal with the whole idea of women being sexually free, so they created the monogamous system where there's this double standard that just all of a sudden is totally okay. We'll talk shit about it, but it's still okay for a man to cheat than it is. It's more okay for a man to cheat than it is for a woman. Yes or wrong? Yes or no?
I don't agree. I don't. Here's my thing. Right?
What you got?
I'm gonna answer the question, and I'm gonna dive back to what I saw. in this series.
Right.
Right? So I don't think it's okay for nobody to cheat.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah, we all agree with that. I agree.
Man or woman, I just believe it's how you handle the situation. And there's certain ingredients to how it's handled. You know, honesty, truth, and just being forthcoming with certain information, I think is essential to really handling situations. Not even infidelity, but if you want to just be out there, like you say, if you want to embrace your sexuality, I'm not all for the embracing of the sexuality because I think that's just a cover up a thought for being a thought.
Why is it a cover up for a thought though? Why isn't it like, oh, I just want to be free? I mean,
you gotta ask yourself, why do you want to be? Because now we gotta go.
That's another conversation. No, that's absolutely another conversation to have.
Right, because if you look at the character, she was free. But she lacked a lot of information.
Yes, absolutely.
So she didn't really know where she was going in life, and a lot of times, so she was just out here just because she was an artist.
In her relationships, though, like she was fine with them. She had everybody had a role in her life.
Right. So, but
one guy, go ahead.
Right, but what I'm saying is there was the ingredients that lacked until she get to episode 9 and 10.
Right. Okay. No. Yeah. Absolutely right. Then I mean,
right.
Self-reflection, because clearly she was treating these people like trash too. Like.
Right. Exactly. And that's what.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, so she was living out the song, and this is one of my songs. These girls ain't loyal. You know what I mean? Because they now. You know what I mean? They not loyal. She wasn't being loyal because at the end of the day, if you not being forthcoming, all right, granted, you said I want to date and I want to go out there, I want to do my thing. That's fine, but you can't act like you gotta line. She had a lineup. Come on, you gotta line up.
They all came to Thanksgiving dinner though.
Yeah, but that was the moment of clarity. That was the moment where. So now, if you go to season 2 and they all decide to rock with her at that point, then it's on them guys.
Okay.
But like I said, it's about the way you handle it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't feel like she handled it in a tasteful way where it was respectable until the end. So that's why for the first 8 episodes, I'm looking at it like, this chick is a thot. Like that's the whole damn. And I'm conflicted because. So I watched the first one. The girl was okay. She was attractive, but this girl was beautiful. Like this. The one that whoever they got, I don't know her name. I don't know if you know her name. That's great. Tell us, please.
Her name.
But she was amazingly gorgeous. Like she was gorgeous beyond measure. Like her eyes and everything. She just they found a great person to play that part. But she was out here dying.
What I will say is shout out to Spike Lee for having movies to create this kind of dialogue. And
right.
The movie came out in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? Like, right? Was it? I think She's Gotta Have It came out. Where that wasn't a term that we use. I mean, there was holes and stuff like that, but that whole polyamory or even, you know what I'm saying, like wasn't a comfortable thing that people were even like putting out there like that. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to him for having these kind of conversations or pushing this conversation forward.
This is Leslie Juvenicaire, Chief Happiness Officer at Leslie Inc. When I'm not helping business leaders find their state of happiness, I'm listening to One Recourse Radio Podcast, the #1 resource for business entertainment.
Which brings me to my point. So, okay, the thing that we know, the thing that we hear, he gets a lot of flack for the way he puts out film,
right?
But he don't get enough credit for the way he tackles a lot of issues that people are not willing to talk about.
I think that's probably where the flack comes from. People have the truth is hard to swallow. You know what I'm saying? It makes people feel uncomfortable. And their first thing is to be derogatory or forget about the positive parts about it or the reasoning behind it, the more of the message.
Right. You was about to say something, Dave?
Now I was going to Dennis's point. People just, you know what I'm saying, like, you always have something to say. And sometimes they just will criticize what they don't understand, you know? Mm-hmm. Then within the community, we'll get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we always understand where he's coming from.
Right.
but sometimes it's just not put out there sugar coated like, you know, other people will put it, and that's what people usually have a issue with Spike Lee with, because he can be so raw.
Right.
But,
all right, so we're on this topic, right? So he's putting out content that creates controversy, and he's getting a lot of flack for it. I see that as something similar, because I know that when Tyler Perry came out, because you think about Spike Lee, his run started a little earlier, you know, early 80s, carried on to the 90s. You get a couple of spots in the 2000s, right? So then you get Tyler Perry. He came out early 2000s, and you know you're getting a lot of him from, let's say, 2000 to current day.
Right.
But I feel like they're getting the same type of flack, but they're trying to do the same thing for our culture and for the awareness of people that are looking at our culture, but they're getting the same type of flack. Do you feel that it's something that's similar, or do you feel it's a different kind of controversy that each individual is creating?
I honestly think, like, well, first of all, people is going to always have something to say, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to say shout out to them for creating content and just putting black images out there. You know what I'm saying?
Right, 100%.
I'm really big on representation and all that. So for me, they're criticized differently because I know they always get into the whole Tyler Perry on how he dresses like a woman and Madea is like a woman dressed in drag and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
like,
that's my perspective. I don't really like that part.
Right.
But
and the thing is, like, that can be it though, right? But my thing is he hits there's a certain group in the black population that people relate to. People can relate to that grandmother that looks like, you know what I'm saying, or whatever the hell. So for me, I'm like, yo, if you like it, I love it, you know?
Right.
Everything ain't for everybody. I'm not going to be running out to go see the next Tyler Perry movie. You know what I'm saying? That's just not my steez.
Right.
But saying, like, I know my aunties who will. You know what I'm saying? Like, and hey, respect to them. If that's what entertains them, it's, you know, it's more good and whatever. So for me, it's just like, it's okay to be different. It's okay to have like different genres of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, with white people, there's just a plethora of stuff that they can go ahead and get into and be involved in, and it's totally fine. You know, like
100%.
You don't have to stick to a certain lane. Like, we aren't all the same. We're not a monolith, you know. And I think a lot of times people think that we all like our experiences are the same, and they're not. You know what I'm saying? Like, so Spike Lee having, you know, the Brooklyn up northeast type of, you know, angle on it where it's raw and it hits you in a totally different way, as opposed to Medea's grandmama, Jesus is the way, but that's how they receive it down south. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how they receive it in the Bible Belt. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Each his own.
Yeah.
So ultimately, you don't feel that it's a target on, let's say, I don't want to call it the token black producer, but whoever's hot that's like trying to influence our community, you feel it's a target?
I think, you know what is like heavy is, what is it? Like, heavy is the crown.
Heavy wears the crown?
Right. Like, whoever's in that spot's always going to get a target, is going to have a target on their back, because there's going to be a group of people that's going to not feel a particular way. Like, I think even with Black Panther, there was a whole group of people talking about, oh, you need to give a portion of your proceeds to, wait. We ain't tell them to do that with Titanic. Like,
word.
you know, just like, people always have something to say, and it just blows my mind because it can never just be a thing. Like, it's always like, oh, it's got to be with conditions. Like, okay,
right.
I understand doing it right, but let that be up to the own person, like that person's volition, not us dictating, oh, this is where you should put that money because you made it, you know, like
100%.
So, heavy is the head that wears that crown, you know. It's just like, people are always going to come at you, you know, and it's just like, just keep putting it out there.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
if you ain't got no haters, you ain't doing it right.
Yep. All right. What French Montana say? You ain't got no haters, you ain't popping?
Right.
Yeah, if you ain't got no haters, you ain't doing it right.
There you go. So when it's all said and done, if we had to look at it, I think you said it, you got to saran wrap them. You ultimately feel that Spike Lee is somebody that should go down in history as a change agent, somebody that affected the culture in a positive way. So what would you say is your favorite Spike Lee joint when you look at the catalog that he's put out?
It would probably definitely be maybe School Days. That definitely.
Wow, that was so old. Yeah, you brought it back.
That's what I want to be, but I don't know. But I don't know. She's Gotta Have It is one of my new favorites right now. What's that one with Radio Raheem? Do the Right
Fever? Was that
Do the Right Thing?
Do the Right Thing.
Do the Right Thing.
Oh.
So I mean, I'm feeling a lot of his old school joints. You know what
The
I'm
old school joints is clean.
Yeah.
I had a chance to see, and I just saw this at the end of last year. Mo Better Blues.
Mo Better Blue. That's the one with Denzel, right?
Yeah, man, that was a good one. That was a really. I didn't think it was gonna be that good. That was great. That's so. I was sold at that point. That right there, I was definitely 100% sold. I was like, oh, he's got it. Because if I watched this in 2020, and this came out in the 90s, and I'm still like, yo, this is. It felt timeless. I'm like, yo, this guy's a genius. He's a genius. He's a genius. All right. And my favorite was He Got Game because I come back.
Oh, He Got Game. That's another one.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the best. It's like top 5 sports movies ever put out, and the fact that he owns that, you gotta give the nod for that. You gotta give him the nod.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's a nice catalog, that's for sure.
That's definitely for sure.
Well, Miss Portia, we appreciate you coming, telling us about
Having me. Thank you.
that 100%. Coming, talking about your podcast, number one. Giving your perspective of what's going on, how you feel about the political State of the Union address, Black Panther, along with, Spike Lee's legacy. So I guess before you go, we like to do a couple of things. We got to make sure we give you your just due. We want to make sure that you let the listeners know. Well, first, let me ask you. I know you got your podcast going on, but from the podcast, do you have any type of events or things that you're doing around it that the listeners should be aware of, or you just want to let the listeners know about the podcast again and how they can tune in?
Right now, it's just a podcast. I definitely would like y'all to tune in. We will have some things coming up in the spring. We're working through some stuff. Might end up having a twerk class for
okay.
A couple of happy hours and some networking events coming up just to kind of, get our faces out there. But again, we're Fly Girl Chronicles. We're on SoundCloud and iTunes. It's Fly with 2 Y's, Girl Chronicles. And follow us if you can. The conversation's always good. And look forward to seeing you guys or hearing from you. Thank you guys for having me. Appreciate it.
Hey, listen, thank you very much, and we look forward to your mixers and events that's coming up in the spring. Because networking in the spring, especially because I know you're out there in the city, is always a fly moment. And what better way to spend a fly moment with the Fly Girls, the Fly Girls Chronicles, right?
Absolutely.
100%. So we wish you all the best. Keep doing your thing. Your podcast is amazing. To have been involved with it only 6 months, having an opportunity to hear you as a media personality, truly impressed. Keep doing your thing and keep growing. And anytime you want to come back to the show, you're more than welcome.
Thank you, Resource. I appreciate y'all.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome.
Well, there you have it. You just heard from, Miss Nadege Fortune of the Fly Girl Chronicles. And, of course, you hear of my co-host, Mr. Dennis Buchanan, of the One Recourse Radio Podcast. So, as always, make sure you tune in, www.onerecourse.com/podcast, where you can tune in to all of the different platforms that we're a part of, SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, Spreaker, you name it, we're on it. So just stay connected to what we got going on, and we will see you at the next episode. Well, there you have it. You just heard everything we want to share that we feel was trending from All-Star Weekend to the Black Panther, the State of the Union address, along with what we feel about Spike Lee's legacy. And are we missing anything, Dennis? That was everything. The flip challenge. The flip challenge.
Well, we had the flip challenge. Yeah, definitely. Some of the more heated parts of the conversation when it came to the whole relationship and the cheating with the men and women. We'd love to hear your feedback on what you kind of may think on that topic. Did it hit home for you? Did you hate it? Did you agree or disagree? It was definitely one of the trending topics that, it's something that's currently going on and people are thinking about amongst all the topics that we did cover. We'd love to get your feedback.
There you have it. So we thank you for listening to the show. It was a pleasure. We had fun with Mr. Dave Fortune of the Fly Girls Chronicles podcast. So make sure if you want to do what Dennis said and just share your commentary. Of course, you can follow us at on Instagram at One Recourse TV. You can also subscribe to all of our platforms where you have opportunities to put the comment. www.onerecourse.com/podcast. And do not forget, you want to follow us on the Flip Challenge, support the cause. OneRecourse.com/podcast/stocks. Get you some merch, support the movement. 2018 Flip Challenge. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll see you at the next episode.